Today was Tuesday, and for our reading, we're going to first review our story that we read yesterday. So please go open your book to page 214. Go ahead and reread your story. When you finish, press play. Our first reading strategy this week is summarize. When you summarize, you're just telling the most important ideas and details in a text. So example, a summary of the story that you just read, the section that was on telescopes, would be that telescopes help scientists learn more about space, right? That gives a broad, general idea of the entire thing, not just one little detail. Like, for example, 400 years ago, Galileo, built a telescope that was strong enough to study the sky. That would just be a detail. That would not be a good summary, because a summary gives us the big picture of the entire story. Next, main ideas and key details. The main idea is the most important point that an author makes about a topic. Okay, so the most important point of the story that we just read would be that satellites help people study space. Okay, one detail would be that satellites can take photographs of the Earth, Moon, and stars. One detail could be that it takes the satellite 96 minutes to go around Earth. Okay, so those are all small details that add up to the main idea, the big point. The texts that we're reading, they're all expository text. So that means it gives facts and information about a topic. Think like science topics, social studies topics. It has text features such as headings, keywords, and charts. For example, this chart that we read that had what we can see with our eyes versus a telescope versus the Hubble telescope, that is an example of a chart that you would find in an expository text because it gives more information. And then we're also learning about suffixes this week. Suffix is something that's added to the end of a word. It changes the word's meaning. So the suffix y means full of. The suffix ly means in a certain way. So if we read, I see the word rocky. Rocky has that suffix y, so it means full of rocks, right? The rocky surface of the moon. Well, the moon is full of rocks. All right? Go ahead and take out your Tuesday reading worksheet. Here we've got a story that we're going to read and then answer some questions about it. Make sure you get your name on top. As I'm reading, it's always a good idea to go through and underline things that you think are going to be important later on. Did you know that some of the stars in the sky are really planets? Oh, I'm underlining that. Stars in the sky are really planets. Venus is one of them. Venus is a rocky planet like Earth and even has similar geography like mountains and valleys. It also has a lot of volcanoes. Mountains, valleys, volcanoes, we have all of those on Earth. Over 100 of them. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. It is even hotter than Mercury, which is closest to the sun. This is because of its atmosphere, which is mostly carbon dioxide, a gas that traps the heat on the planet. Scientists first studied Venus through telescopes and then later sent probes and spacecraft. Some of the spacecrafts have even landed and sent back information and pictures. This has allowed scientists to learn so much more about Venus. How do you know this is expository text? Well, remember, expository text gives facts and information about a topic. This gives facts and information about Venus. Second one says, summarize this passage in 2 to 3 sentences. So what was the main point of this text? Well, we kind of have 3 paragraphs. So this one talked a lot about how Venus is like Earth. This one talked about how it's the hottest planet. And this talks about how we've sent some spacecrafts to Venus. So to summarize that, you might say, Venus is a lot like Earth, but much hotter. And then you could say scientists have studied Venus a lot. Right, so we're kind of taking this entire thing and boiling it down to just the most important parts. Along that same line then, for number 3, what is the main idea in the second paragraph? This right here is the second paragraph. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. It's even hotter than Mercury, which is closest to the sun. This is because of its atmosphere, which is mostly carbon dioxide, a gas that traps heat on the planet. So what was that whole paragraph about? Write that for your answer right here. Number 4 then, what is one detail that supports the main idea in the second paragraph? Well, pick one fact here that supports what you just wrote. So it could be about carbon dioxide, it could be that it's hotter than Mercury. Either of those would work, or you might even find a different one. Number 5, if the suffix "er" means more, what does the word hotter mean? If it's more hotter, it means more hot. And then what do we know about Venus? Go ahead and tell me what the most interesting thing that you learned about Venus from up here at the top. When you're done, make sure it makes it back in your Tuesday folder.